with all this data that you receive, how do you use it to drive results and get ROI? You did answer that quite a bit. Is there anything else you want to add to that?
Well, I mean, I think it's a good time to go into like maybe some hard data here.
Let's.
Okay. So Microsoft a couple years ago made a move, or a year and a half ago I think it was, made a move from a couple different platforms to Marketo, which is a marketing automation tool, and the Elite Webinar platform, and they did it integrated. Okay, and when they did that, they were able to track what happened with webinar viewers. And they were able to draw a straight line between webinar viewers and purchasers to the effect that 7.2% of people who showed up to a webinar became a purchaser. So they bought something. So when they saw that, they had hard evidence. They knew what a webinar viewer was worth to them. And so they decided that they were going to change strategies in an effort to influence more sales for the organization. So they were one of these customers or one of these webinar producers that got like 1,000 live viewers. They were doing massive webinars. I mean, they're Microsoft, right?
Another HubSpot situation,
oh, yeah,
right?
But probably even
way
bigger, right? But what they realized is that because they wanted to influence different aspects of the funnel, they wanted to influence this product sale over that product sale, is that they ended up ballooning to 130 webinars a month.
Wow.
And in doing so, they weren't getting those same amount of viewers on each one of their webinars. But what they were able to do is use a razor approach, or a scalpel approach rather than that sledgehammer approach, and say, I want to influence sales of this product, or I want to influence the funnel here. And basically just take webinars and run them for that specific audience. So a much more, call it personalized approach to the webinar. Now, there's a lot more that goes into this case study, which again, you can access in the resource section, but these weren't all live webinars. It wasn't 130 live.
I was going to ask, are they leveraging some of that on-demand
business
we were talking about
on-demand, simulated live. There's a few different tricks when you
Right.
get up into this type of program size that you'll want to employ so you don't go nuts.
So I'm going to go ahead and ask you for another example, though.
Okay.
Because we have talked about HubSpot and now Microsoft, and as you put it, even though this brought drastic improvements, they did have it.
Yeah.
They had a solid viewership and whatnot. So, when we're looking at organizations that are smaller, smaller marketing departments as well, who are probably watching this webinar.
Yeah.
And I'm sure we'd love to see another example.
Okay. Yeah, Microsoft, what I often get is Microsoft's got more money than God, and their marketing department's bigger than my whole company, so clearly they can do that. But I like that example because of just how real the numbers are. But it doesn't need to you don't need to be that big, and you don't need to be doing 130 webinars a month to have that happen.
Sure.
So another example here is RingCentral. So RingCentral basically decided that they needed to bolster sort of the late stage activities. So in their case, one of the late stage activities was a demo that was delivered to their prospects. And they applied a webinar strategy, we call it the Deminar, where product delivers the demo, and sales reps push prospects to this demo that happens on a weekly basis. We see this with a lot of our software companies, the Friday afternoon demo. And in doing so, they were able to increase pipeline by 400%. So they're much smaller than Microsoft. I mean, they're a great company that's doing amazing things, but they were able to have a real impact in the overall pipeline of the organization by doing this. There's a lot of examples that I've seen that I've been a part of, including the one that I brought up about our single webinar we did in 2012 that's still producing results for us. And if you've got content that resonates and has resonated for a long time, something that is, I threw out that word evergreen, but it could just be something like you're always getting asked the same questions, right? How do we do this? How do we do that? And you're delivering that content over and over again. Well, you can use that type of content to help influence pipeline and influence funnel as well. It's just finding the right piece of content at that right stage.